Here's more wrestling news for October 24th, 2025. Your headlines for this afternoon include WWE cutting talent again, 3 high-profile names on the chopping block. Mercedes Moné's belt collector storyline might be wrapping up soon. WWE takes action, security guards parked outside wrestler's house for weeks. AEW wrestler walks away from the ring to sell cars under new persona. 3 WWE superstars who could face Adam Pearce in his final match. AEW locker room reportedly frustrated over who's really running the show, and more. Ivy Nile and the Creed brothers officially signed their WWE main roster contracts on November 6, 2023 in what was originally a 2-year deal. However, with that agreement set to expire in just a couple of weeks, their status with the company has suddenly come under scrutiny. The Creed brothers were last seen on Monday Night Raw on July 21, 2025, while Ivy Nile's most recent televised appearance came during the Evolution 2025 Battle Royal. Since then, all 3 have been limited to working WWE main event, NXT house shows, and occasional dark matches, with no storyline presence on the main roster. According to multiple reports from wrestling news outlets, WWE is considering not extending their current contracts, and there's even speculation that the trio themselves are contemplating an exit from the company. While that's a tough pill to swallow given their undeniable talent and potential, it's worth noting that these reports are coming from unverified dirt sheet resources, and WWE has yet to comment officially on their status. As for why they haven't returned to main roster programming, insiders suggest it may come down to creative direction and limited TV time, a situation not uncommon when WWE rosters are loaded with returning veterans and top-tier storylines leading into WrestleMania season. If the rumors prove true, their departure would mark a disappointing end to what once looked like a promising run for one of WWE's most athletic and cohesive units. Do you think WWE should re-sign Ivy Nile and the Creed brothers, or would they be better off pursuing opportunities elsewhere? Let us know your take in the comments below. Mercedes Moné's chaotic 12-belt celebration on AEW Dynamite might have ended with a cake to the face and a table crash courtesy of Chris Statlander, but behind the scenes, her championship reign may be nearing its final act. According to Brian Alvarez, AEW already has a roadmap for how Moné's belt collector storyline will wind down following her title defense against Statlander at AEW Full Gear on November 22nd in Newark, New Jersey. Alvarez noted that the company is preparing for Moné to start losing her titles one by one in the coming months, marking the beginning of the end for her global championship streak. The tricky part is execution. Many of Moné's belts were won overseas. The Body Slam Women's Championship in Copenhagen and the Discovery Wrestling Scottish Women's Championship in Edinburgh are 2 recent examples. That raises 2 obvious options for AEW. Send Moné back to the countries where she won the belts, Germany, Poland, Mexico, Denmark, Scotland, and elsewhere, so that she loses those titles back on foreign soil, or bring those international champions stateside and have them reclaim their gold on Dynamite or AEW pay-per-views. Either approach would turn Moné's downfall into a global spectacle and give AEW a unique chance to showcase cross-promotional storytelling rarely seen at this scale. As her CEO era edges towards its finale, the only question left is, how will AEW book the fall of the 12-belt champion, and who should be the first to dethrone her? Share your thoughts below on how Moné's legendary run should come to an end. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. Sonya Deville has once again revisited one of the darkest chapters of her life, the 2020 home invasion that nearly turned fatal. Speaking candidly on rule breakers with Saraya, Deville, real name Daria Baronato, shared chilling new details about the night a stalker broke into her Florida home and how Vince McMahon personally intervened to ensure her safety in the aftermath. Deville began by recalling the exact moment she realized something was wrong. "I get this DM that says, 'Look outside your porch. I'm here. That blonde bitch inside will die first.' I froze. My stomach just dropped. I thought it was a sick troll at first, until I saw movement by the glass door. He had cut a hole in the screen and was literally inside my house. I screamed for Mandy and we bolted out the back. I called 911 as we ran barefoot through the yard." Police later arrested the intruder, Philip Thomas II, who was found carrying a knife, zip ties, and duct tape, items that suggested a horrifying intent. Deville revealed she couldn't sleep for days after the incident and refused to ever return to that house. She also revealed a side of Vince McMahon that fans rarely ever hear about. The WWE chairman immediately reached out and took swift personal action. Vince called and said, "Are you okay? I'm sending security right now." He had WWE security parked outside my parents' house for weeks. He made sure we had a safe place to stay. Whatever people say about Vince, that's the side they don't see. He really did take care of me. The traumatic event reshaped DeVille's relationship with fame, privacy, and the realities of becoming a public figure. It made me realize how real stalking is. It's not just online trolls. This guy had been planning it for months. I'm one of the lucky ones. He got caught, but most stalking victims never get help until it's too late. In the years since, DeVille has used her platform to advocate for stronger anti-stalking laws and greater protection for entertainers and public figures who live under constant threat. DeVille's story is a sobering reminder of the dangers that come with fame and the importance of support systems when tragedy strikes. What's your take on Vince McMahon's response to Sonya's ordeal? Do you think WWE should do more to protect its talent from similar situations? Let us know in the comments below. WWE Raw General Manager Adam Pearce may be preparing to lace up his boots one final time. While he's been known to fans in recent years as the level-headed executive keeping order on Raw, longtime viewers know that Scrap Daddy Pearce was once a decorated in-ring competitor with a resume that spans Ring of Honor, NWA, and independent circuits worldwide. Pearce wrestled full-time from 2005 to 2010, most notably as a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion before joining WWE in 2013 as a trainer. Since 2020, he's become a central authority figure on television, but that may soon change. During a recent appearance on the Gorilla Position podcast, the 47-year-old hinted that his wrestling days might not be completely behind him. When asked if fans could ever see him compete again, Pearce smiled and said that stepping into the ring for one final match isn't out of the question. That comment has reignited fan speculation about who could face him in his last bout. 3 names stand out as fitting opponents. Number 3, Nick Aldis, SmackDown's general manager. If there's one logical choice, it's Nick Aldis, Pearce's Blue Brand counterpart. Both men are seasoned veterans with long histories outside WWE. Aldis himself, a former TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Their on-screen rivalry dates back to last year's Survivor Series build, where WWE briefly teased a Raw vs. SmackDown GM clash before shelving the idea. During Gorilla Position, Pearce didn't mince words about this possibility, saying that if he ever stepped into the ring with Aldis, he would kick his. With Survivor Series War Games right around the corner, WWE could easily revisit this executive showdown and finally deliver the payoff fans were promised. Number 2, Randy Orton. If it's not Aldis, the perfect candidate might be Randy Orton. The Viper once dropped Pearce with a brutal RKO out of nowhere at Crown Jewel 2024. The attack wasn't part of any storyline, it just happened during a chaotic moment when Pearce tried to separate Orton and Kevin Owens before their scheduled match. Orton currently has no announced opponent for Survivor Series, leaving the door open for a grudge match that brings that moment full circle. One spark from Pearce could be all it takes to reignite that tension and lead to an unexpected in-ring showdown. Number 1, Dominic Mysterio. If there's one superstar on Raw who's pushed Pearce's patience to its limit, it's Dominic Mysterio. The Intercontinental Champion has made a habit of causing chaos backstage, ducking matches and faking injuries, often forcing Pearce to deal with the fallout. Pearce has repeatedly called out Dom's antics, including the time Dominic pretended to be injured to avoid facing AJ Styles. If WWE wanted a more lighthearted but satisfying moment, Pearce finally stepping into the ring to teach Dirty Dom a lesson could give fans exactly that. Whether it's Aldis, Orton, or Dominic, one thing is clear, fans would love to see Adam Pearce get one last match before hanging up his suit jacket for good. If Triple H greenlights this idea, who do you want to see Scrap Daddy face in his farewell bout? Would you prefer a grudge match with Orton, a battle of GMs with Aldis, or a comedic showdown with Dominic Mysterio? Share your dream opponent in the comments below. WWE Hall of Famer Devon Dudley isn't holding back when it comes to his opinion on AEW, and according to him, many of the wrestlers inside the company feel the same way. Speaking with Video Gamer, Dudley revealed that his brief talks with AEW never turned into anything concrete. He explained that while Tony Khan wanted him to wrestle again, Devon was only interested in working behind the scenes. But beyond that, he admitted that what he saw and heard from friends within the promotion gave him second thoughts about joining it all. I don't know if I would have felt comfortable in AEW. There's just certain things about the organization that I don't like, and Tony Khan lets that happen. I think the talent is great, there's no question about that. I've got friends at AEW, and a lot of the talent in AEW have the same frustrations that I see. They just wish that certain people wouldn't be calling the shots and that Tony would take more control. Devon, who's spent decades in the industry both as a performer and a coach, suggested that AEW's internal structure is breeding frustration among its locker room. He said the problems stem not from a lack of talent, but from the way decisions are being made and who's making them. He also spoke candidly about how the wrestling business itself has changed, emphasizing what he sees as a growing disconnect between the newer generation and the veterans who paved the way. The business has changed tremendously. I feel, and so many other wrestlers feel this way, there's a lack of respect from some of the younger talent, and that's fine. It's just because they weren't taught proper ways when coming into the business. People who are older than me, people who I used to watch during the Hogan and Andre era, I still respect and love them dearly for what they did in terms of entertaining me as a child. And the business has changed. We don't have many people that do that anymore. Devon's comments echo what's becoming a recurring theme across AEW reports, that the company's locker room, once viewed as united and creative, may now be split by growing frustrations over leadership and direction. If Tony Khan doesn't step in and reassert control soon, AEW could find itself facing a deeper divide between its veterans and younger talent. Do you think AEW's leadership structure is working, or is it time for Tony Khan to take firmer control of his roster? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Marco Stunt has officially stepped away from the wrestling ring, and now he's helping people drive off the lot instead of diving off the top rope. The former AEW star, whose real name is Noah Nelms, quietly retired from pro wrestling in late 2024 to focus on his health and long-term stability. These days, he's working full-time as a car salesman at Homer Skelton Ford in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Embracing his wrestling past, Nelms now goes by Noah Mr. Fun-Size Nelms at work, a nod to his AEW nickname. In a recent TikTok video that's been gaining attention, he showed off his trademark energy and humor while introducing himself to fans and potential customers. Stunt's final match took place in July 2024 when he faced Jack Perry for the TNT Championship on AEW Collision. Though he came up short in that bout, it turned out to be his last appearance in the ring, a fitting finale for one of AEW's most unique and charismatic performers. Marco Stunt may have left the squared circle, but his larger-than-life personality clearly isn't going anywhere. For all of our subscribers, don't miss the 9 a.m. Eastern video we dropped earlier today.